has to do with the shoulders and the arm wave. So in the basic arm wave tutorial, we learn how to wave basic. But if you watch my shoulders, this is the basic wave, and this is a little bit more advanced. See the difference? What I'm doing is I'm rolling my shoulders. Like this. But isolated. So the best way to do it is if you pick your shoulder up and roll it down and forward. Or up and half. What this does is makes your wave smoother. Instead of picking it up, you're rolling it forward. You're rolling it. So to practice, roll your shoulders this way and then start to pick up your hands and roll. You want to learn how to do it both ways. You want to learn how to roll it forward and also how to roll it back. So then what happens is our wave becomes smoother. As we go into our shoulder, we roll, roll, and continue. Other way, roll, roll, continue. It's really in isolation. If you watch my hand here, see that? Isolated. I'm not doing this. Just like that. Isolate. Shoulders. Another tip, when you're beginning and you're going to start putting moves together, and especially with hitting, a problem people have is their shoulders. They climb up, or when they're hitting, they're moving their shoulders a lot, which is no good. You want to keep your shoulders back. When you wave, when you hit, shoulders gotta stay back. So a good way to practice hitting and keeping your shoulders down is by using a wall. So with this technique, what you do is you take your hands and you put it on the wall, not your body, and you stretch your hands out. What you do is boom, 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 hit, 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 hit. You gotta practice hitting on the wall. And what this does is because your hands are far apart, it keeps your shoulders down. And it keeps you from hopping with your shoulders. Now, you don't want to keep your hands like this, because that still allows you to pop your shoulders. Keep your hands far apart. So that's an exercise also. You can do it this way. Right? If you try not to keep your hands in, then it lets you jump your shoulders. Keep your hands far. Use a wall. It helps you keep your shoulders down. Alright, so in the basic tutorials, we obviously learned the arm wave and we learned hitting. Now those two styles are very complementary, they go together really well. And the way to practice this is to put on a song, and most hip hop songs, it goes boom, clap, boom, clap, boom, clap. It's a very simple beat. And what you want to do is when you hear the clap, you want to hit. Because you want to hit areas like your arms and your chest. So a way to practice is by hitting here, hit, hit, hit. You hit when it's at your hand, hit when it's at your chest, hit when it's at your arm. So for example, hit, 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 hit. Alright? Right now we're mixing the waving and hitting. Now also, you can control where you hit by your wave speed. If I want to hit here and here, I have to move my wave fast. Boom, boom. If I want to hit here, I move it slower, so it gets there in time for the hit. Boom, boom. As you probably noticed, waving is my favorite style because with just the basics, you can do so much. Now, when beginners start waving, usually you see them waving down the body, kind of like this. It's a little sloppy, but it's not difficult to do after a few weeks. Waving with the arms. Now, to take it to the next level, you need to think in terms of concepts. Now, these concepts are wave sizes and wave speed. So, first with wave sizes. You can do a small wave, and you can do big waves. Alright? Just with that, we add more dimensions, more options, more creativity, and also play with wave speeds. Ready? So here's a slow wave, and also a fast wave. just with those concepts, we can take our basic waving to pretty high levels, just with those concepts. For example, I'm waving slow, boom, fast, slow, 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 big wave, little wave, small wave, big wave, small wave, big wave, small wave, slow, fast. We're just playing with speeds, so practice changing your wave sizes and your wave speeds. Doing that adds a lot more variety and will take your waving to a new level. And also, we have size, speed, and now we added hitting, right? You can hit with your wave. And also you can hit small waves. You can hit big waves, right? Another waving tip is you don't always have to start at the tips of your body. For example, my wave doesn't always have to start from my fingertips. My wave doesn't always have to start from my head. You can start from the feet. You can start your wave from your head. You can start your wave from your elbows. From your hips. Play with different starting points. You don't always have to start from your hands, right? Legs, start from your shoulder. Alright, so now here's the first exercise to help you with waving variety. For example, if I'm waving here, and I think I'm repetitive, and I'm always waving down the body when I'm doing this, one thing you can do is go to that point and think of 2 more ways to wave out or to do a move to get yourself to do something different. For example, if I'm here and I find myself waving down, let's think of 2 more options. Here, how about my head down to this arm? Or here, like this, right? Or here, doing boogaloo. There's lots of options. Now, if 2 is too simple, challenge yourself and think of 5 different ways to take that one move to different ones. Or if I find myself getting caught here, what are the options? Here, I can wave back out with my hands. Here, I can wave out this way. Here, I can start doing cobra. Just think of different ways to get from what you usually do to something else. So this is another waving exercise. What you do is you get into a position and you freeze, and your goal is to wave out of that position, make it interesting, and get back to standing. For example, if I go here and I want to wave out, right? Boom, mission accomplished. Now this challenges you to think of new concepts. And you want to actually do it slow, so it lets you time to think. Or if I start like this. Just like that. You can get in really weird positions. You can sit down, just practice waving out of that position. That way, if you're popping, you get into a weird position, you can wave and dance your way out of that position. Alright, so another tip for putting it all together is a lot of times when people start, they're kind of, they keep to themselves, and they kind of pop all in their own personal space, right? They're popping, they're waving, they're all doing it here. But to make your popping more interesting and to make it more expressive, don't be afraid to reach out and reach and sit and squat and use angles. So, for example, you're popping here, don't be afraid to hit out here or here. Don't be afraid to start a wave way up top. Alright? You can pop here. Boom, boom. Alright? So what I'm saying is don't just pop in here. here. You can hit out here. You can go down. You can get to the ground. You can come back up, right? Not always here. Get out there, reach, stretch, bend. Gives you much more options. So now we're going to talk about hitting, how to incorporate that with other styles, and how to take the Fresno, which is taught in the hitting tutorial, and make that into a sort of skeleton to add other things on top of. Now if you remember, the Fresno, boom, 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 boom. It's just this. It's very simple. By itself, it's not too interesting, but when we start moving our hands, and playing around with it becomes much more interesting. Now 60% of the time there, all I'm doing is the Fresno. My feet are hitting like this. All I'm doing is changing the positions of my arms. You can have your arms out here, here, or you can pick your foot up and you're still hitting this leg. Boom, 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 boom. Right there, right? Or what you can do is take the Fresno and cut it in half. So you're just going back and forth, basically just popping. And then, boom, boom, boom. You're making it into a dance. So, my feet are alternating, and I can wave while I'm hitting, or I can just change my arm positions. Alright, so now we're going to talk about two things. Freestyling and using a mirror. Now a mirror is both a blessing and a curse. A mirror is good because you can really look at your isolations and get feedback yourself. But a mirror is not good if all you do is practice in front of a mirror. Because then you're just constantly using that feedback that you're getting, and once you leave the mirror, you're not going to be able to dance as well, and you're going to find yourself to be repetitive. So the best way to practice is by using a mirror for technique. What you want to do is practice your hits in all different positions. You want to practice isolating your waves. You want to practice waving in different ways, like we talked about, using a mirror. But then, when you go to freestyle, you want to not use a mirror, because you just want to be able to feel the dance, and when you're out dancing or expressing yourself or just having fun, you don't want to have to always be with that mirror. If you just practice in a mirror, you're going to find yourself having a hard time dancing without it. And if you just freestyle, you can be able to dance very well, but your technique is not going to be very good. So you really got to use both of them. Alright, so now we're going to give some examples of how to take the basic moves and throw them together. Now the simple answer here is that there is no right or wrong way to put the moves together. The way you put it together is dictated by you, by your style, the styles that you like, and what you like to mix. My favorite is waving, so when you see me dance, most of it is going to be waving, but also I'm going to hit, I'm going to boogaloo, I'm going to do it all, I'm going to robot. So here's an example. Let's say I start dancing. I start with the robot here. So take that robot and I do an arm wave to the robot, and a body wave. I keep doing the robot. Then boom, here's a boogaloo roll. And I wave out of that boogaloo roll, followed by a head isolation, followed by boogaloo, followed by hitting angles, followed by small waves, followed by a big wave, followed by a glide, followed by a wave, followed by a roll, into the robot into a wave, into another robot position. There's no right or wrong way to mix. An even better way to practice is actually a few. So the first one is to practice in slow motion. What this does is usually at first you kind of dance fast, just trying to get the most moves into a time frame as you can, which is not really the best way to do it. But if you dance slow, it doesn't let you cheat. You can really see everywhere where you mess up. You can really see that your hand is not isolated or something if you dance slow. Dancing slow motion is kind of hard, especially mentally, but if you do this, it's really going to help your freestyle, give you more variety, allow you time to think. Remember that exercise of finding different ways to take one move into others? It gives you time to think. The other way is to use this, a video camera. Video camera helps because when you're dancing in a mirror, the feedback is really instant and you're kind of in the moment dancing. So things might look good and you won't really catch isolations. But if you have a camera, you can take yourself, watch your footage, and then you can really catch what you think you want to do differently, or if you don't like the way you're doing this and that. So if you have a video camera, use it. If not, a mirror works. And just as good as all these techniques is one that might sound kind of ridiculous, but I promise you it really works, is to dance without a shirt on. Now, it might sound kind of stupid and you don't really want to go to a public place and do that, but why this works is because popping is very intricate. It's all about muscles and isolations. So without a shirt, you can see your muscles, you can see the joints, and you can see how your chest moves, how everything is isolated, and the way your muscles are. Whereas with a shirt on, you can't see. I mean, I can tell my chest is moving, but I can't see the muscles, or if my belly button is isolated. But without a shirt, all that becomes visible. So once in a while, it's good to practice maybe in your bathroom or something like that, in the mirror, without a shirt on. Another tip is when you're popping, you want to be able to move around. And so for that, try not to always be sitting back in your heels. Because then when you're popping, it kind of makes it difficult to move. So when you're dancing, be up on your toes a little bit, meaning the weight is on the balls of your foot. You're not standing on your toes, just the weight is on the balls of your foot. That makes it easier to move around. Step, step, turn. Step, step, turn. It just makes it easy, kind of being on the balls of your foot, you know, when you're an athlete, it just kind of gets you ready to move. Same thing in popping, right? If you have the balls of your foot, it gives you lots of options. When you're freestyling, someone has asked me, what do you think about? So in your freestyle, you don't think. What happens is the music just kind of takes you over, and you're listening to the beat, and only the music. And everything else that in your world that's been, all the stress, it just kind of disappears, which is why dancing is so awesome. And you're just listening to that beat, and you're dancing. You don't have to think of what's next. Just dance. Don't think. Right? It's all about the music, expressing yourself, feeling the music. So really, when a different style of music comes on, you should be dancing differently based on your feelings and how it's making you move. We've learned, how to use our shoulders, practice techniques using a wall, how to wave, isolate, boogaloo all together, ways to practice with mirrors and without, how to freestyle. So just take this and know that popping is not something that you can learn overnight. It's a long-term dance. It might take you a month or two to be happy with your progress, and it's really difficult to see progress from day to day. So I really encourage you to try to get a video camera or try to document your progress, because then you can look back on a video that was a month ago and I promise you will see progress. Just practice freestyle, use a mirror, and most of all, before the moves and everything, you need to have fun. Popping is not a job, it's not something that you should be forcing yourself to do. It's something that you enjoy, something that makes you happy, it takes away the stress, it puts you in a different world for a minute. Just enjoy yourself dancing, and everything else comes second. And if you ever post a video of yourself practicing or dancing, I would love to check it out. Please message me on YouTube. Very often I will comment and help people, just like people helped me when I started. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace!